Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel we post writing tips, unboxings, book hauls, book reviews and the occasional vlog. And today I have another book review for you, and it is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Lynn. It's awesome. I adored this book. If you guys have seen my review on Six Crimson Cranes, the link's above now if you haven't, I think this book gave me those kind of vibes. So if you like that one, read this one. I mean, first of all guys, let's talk about how gorgeous is this. Look at that cover. It's also just as beautiful on the inside. The outside is green and gold, which I love because green is my favorite color. And as all fantasy bookworms will love, it has a map. As always, I will do spoiler free and then I will give you a spoiler alert when we go into spoilers, but I'll read you guys the blurb first. Before we get into that, if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Your continuous support means a lot, so thank you guys so much. There are many legends about my mother. Raised on the moon, Xinyan was unaware she was being hidden from the Celestial Emperor, who exiled her mother for stealing the elixir of immortality. But when her magic flares and Xinyan's existence is discovered, she is forced to flee her home, leaving her mother behind. Alone, powerless and afraid, Xinyan makes her way to the Celestial Kingdom, a land of wonder and secrets. In disguise, she trains alongside the Emperor's son, mastering archery and magic despite the passion which flames between them. To rescue her mother, Xinyan embarks on a quest, confronting legendary creatures and vicious enemies. But when forbidden magic threatens the kingdom, Xinyan must challenge the ruthless Emperor, leaving her torn between losing all she loves and plunging the realm into chaos. It's inspired by the legend of Chang-e, the moon goddess. This captivating debut weaves Chinese mythology into a sweeping adventure of love and family, immortals and magic. It also on the back has so many good reviews. We have from Shannon Chakraborty, a lush, dreamy gem of a novel. Andrea Stewart, strikingly evocative, tense and heartfelt. Elizabeth Lim, who is the author of Six Crimson Cranes, takes a beloved Chinese legend and reimagines it into a gorgeously spun romantic fantasy. Shelley Parker Chan magnificently conjures the romantic yet dangerous dazzle of this immortal world, but never loses track of the shining human heart of her tale. And then on the front we have a review from Stephanie Garber, who is the author of the Caraval series. I've also reviewed that. If you haven't seen that, the link is above me now. That says, epic, romantic and enthralling. Love this book. So great reviews, beautiful cover, great sound and blurb, and ultimately it was a very beautiful and refreshing read. It doesn't really differentiate between men and women in this book, and I absolutely needed that in my life. Everyone wears robes, which are all described very beautifully. Everyone wears ornaments and jewelry. Everyone fights. It doesn't matter what your gender is, to what role you have in this empire. There are female and male captains alike, which I absolutely loved. The only time it seems to be different is in the royal family, and that is with marriage bonds. Beyond that, it doesn't seem to matter, but it does seem to matter when you're a royal. Another thing I absolutely adored in this book was how desire is kind of shown for a certain character. Wenzai is in the Celestial Army with Xinyan, and he's described as basically the most beautiful person you've ever seen, and he's both loved by women and men alike. And it's just one sentence, but with that one sentence, this book becomes far more inclusive, which again is something I just really needed and something I'm looking forward to more modern books doing. On page 364, there is actually an attempted rape. Now, I won't tell you too much about it other than the protagonist's mental reaction. It was rash of me, but I was sickened by their intent and how they tried to blame my choices for their despicable behavior. Again, it's just something I needed to read, something I needed to hear of it actually being said as it is. This book both accepts what should be accepted and also fixes what should be fixed and what should stop being such a ridiculous idea in society of blaming a victim for something that's happened to them. As I said, this book is just so beautiful, and one of the ways it is beautiful is it's very character driven. Everything is internal monologue, there's a lot of dialogue in there, but when things are described, they are beautiful. One of the things that she describes so well is their robes, and she doesn't just call them red, yellow, blue. We have so many colours in there, some of which I didn't even know. An example of this, page 210. These are colours I know, but his teal silk robe was embroidered with waves, edged by glistening curves of white thread. A gold fan-shaped crown studded with pearls rested upon his hair. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Another one, page 215. This is describing Wenzai, who is the very attractive character in this book. He was striking tonight in a forest green robe with a gleaming length of black silk knotted around his waist. His hair was gathered into a carved jade ring fallen over his shoulder like waves of night. I mean, come on, I want those robes. And these beautiful descriptions aren't just there for clothing, it's also there in the furniture. This is the start of a chapter. Sunlight streamed through the crystal pillars, casting hundreds of tiny rainbows upon the carved floor. As a cool breeze wound through the hall of eastern light, the curtains of jade beads clinked gently behind the thrones. Even the doors. Oh, on page 68, this is just to describe a door. The wooden doors were lacquered a rich red, latticed with a pattern of circles interspersed with gilded camellias. They're short, crisp sentences, but everything sounds so beautiful. It was a complete escape for me, this book. I was very happy just being in this world. Before we get into this next bit, I'm going to say spoiler alert. I'm really not going to say too much about this because I think it's a very good book and I don't want to give away its plot. But just in case, skip to this time here if you don't want to hear any of the plot. If you do, then stay tuned, spoiler alert. Structurally, this book is split into 3 parts. Now, when I first started reading it, I got kind of worried. I thought, because part 1 is all about her relationship with the prince, part 2 seems to be about her relationship with Wenzai, and then I was like, oh god, it's just gonna be another bloke in part 3. I'm so happy there wasn't. It's not about the blokes. Yes, that happens, but that is a side plot to the main plot of the story. What I also do love is, even though the romances are very key in the story, she never fully decides, and it's left to the readers to think, who would you choose? And I definitely noticed, even just when I posted a picture of this book, people asked me, are you on Wenzai's team or the prince's team, you know? And it's like, oh, I didn't even, why would I choose a side? But it's true, and people are choosing which prince they would want to be with. That's fun. It keeps the story in your head after you finish reading it. There was a piece of foreshadowing which did catch me. So normally I tend to get what's going to happen early on, but when Xingying and the prince are trying to rescue Fang Mai, who is the prince's betrothed, the archer with the black arrows, I thought that was maybe Xingying's father and that he did become immortal. I wasn't disappointed that it wasn't him, but that could have been a whole other story right there. Welcome back to my overall review if you've joined us after the small amount of spoilers that I gave. Overall, structurally, great. Characterization, fantastic. The world, beautiful. I want to live there. Let me in, please. So, a beautiful read. It's fast-paced, it's easy, it's inclusive, it's heartwarming. I highly recommend it. So I would give this book 10 out of 10 stars. Read it. If you enjoyed Six Crimson Cranes, you will enjoy this book. Give it a go. And that's it for my book review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you see. If you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from this channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you'd like to see as soon as I upload, click that notification bell down below. You can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or Tumblr. I post general bookish pictures, as well as my writing tips and unboxings on there. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye!